Honorable Prime Minister, following a deep, comprehensive internal review and a formal deliberation, the full Maroon Council has this time decided not to accept the offer on the militarization of the space during the recovery effort.
Greetings everyone once again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and before I continue, I will kindly request that you hit the like, subscribe and the share button, as this will go a long way in supporting my channel. Well, in today's channel I will be covering the current rising issue in Jamaica, whereby you're getting to see that their Kompong Maroon chief Richard Curry is having a conflict with the Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness over the recovery post Hurricane Melissa and other sovereignty issues of the Maroon people. Kindly watch this episode to the end as I come with my commentaries later on.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, on behalf of the indigenous people of Akompong and the wider Maroon districts of Cockpit Country, I send sincere appreciation for your recent visit to our community and for the government of Jamaica's expression of support following the destruction caused by Hurricane Melissa. Your presence, accompanied by the several ministers of government, marked the first official visit of your administration to Akompong since my election in 2021, and it was warmly welcomed by our people. We remain grateful for the humanitarian gesture extended to the Akompong people and for your willingness to mobilize resources, particularly those of the JDF military, to assist with the recovery efforts. We also acknowledge your reference on international partners including Ethiopia, Ghana, and Rwanda, who have expressed readiness to assist in the island's rebuilding efforts. Honorable Prime Minister, following a deep, comprehensive internal review and a formal deliberation, the full Maroon Council has this time decided not to accept the offer on the militarization of the space during the recovery effort. The full Maroon Council instead has resolved to continue with the response, utilizing civilian resources from our joining communities and our partners, both locally and internationally, who have offered to the community their assistance in the recovery efforts. Instead, the Council would like to thank you for the offer on materials and would accept the offer on those materials and equipment necessary to assist in those recovery efforts. We want to ensure, Mr. Prime Minister, that harmony and inclusiveness of our Maroon human resources, of those here in Akompong and adjoining communities, are balanced to execute the infrastructural relief efforts across our Maroon communities. This methodology aligns with our laws and cultural way of life. This decision is based also on the following considerations. 1. The established reconstruction partnerships and resources Akompong has secured through international donations, through technical sponsorships, and volunteer engineering assistance sufficient to address the rebuilding and development needs arising from the hurricane. These partnerships, coordinated through the Akompong Development Foundation, reflect years of relationship building, and they provide to us a structured, culturally and aligned framework for reconstruction across the Maroon territory. The second consideration was the protection of community well-being and trauma sensitivities. As you would have recognized, our community was significantly devastated, and many of our elders, some of the women as well as children, have endured profound emotional trauma. In the aftermath, the introduction of military personnel carrying assault rifles, as we would have seen just the other day, even in a humanitarian capacity, could exacerbate and cause additional distress among residents of the community. The Council believes that reconstruction conducted through civilian and community-based teams is the most appropriate path for maintaining emotional security and cultural stability at this time. This, I'm sure, you can understand, Mr. Prime Minister. Our treaty obligations and governance. The third consideration would be the treaty obligations and governance responsibilities accompany as a treaty recognized indigenous polity under the 1738 treaty bears the responsibility of in ensuring that the recovery operation within the territorial space are consistent with its laws, governance institutions, and cultural protocols. The Council has therefore determined that internal and partner-supported reconstruction efforts remain the most suitable avenue for the recovery from the damages that were sustained. This decision is not a rejection of cooperation, nor does it diminish the appreciation of the humanitarian intent behind your offer. We again thank you. But rather, it reflects Akompong's capacity to manage its internal recovery efforts through established civilian channels and international collaborative efforts that have been ongoing since the impact of this storm. I again reiterate our commitment to engage in dialogue on areas where meaningful cooperation between the government of Jamaica and the Akompong Maroons can be maintained. We thank everyone for their continued support, particularly in matters related to the disaster readiness and recovery from the effects of Hurricane Melissa. The Maroons continue to show their resilience and share their support with the broader communities impacted by the storm. We respectfully emphasize that this disaster relief cannot be interpreted as altering or diminishing Akompong's treaty-recognized autonomy. The historical and legal foundations of the 1738 treaty remain intact and continue to guide our interactions with the Jamaica state government. Honorable Prime Minister, we again express our sincere gratitude for your visit and your expression of solidarity during this difficult time. We remain committed to peaceful engagement, transparent dialogue, and long-term well-being of all communities within the cockpit country. May this period of national recovery represent an opportunity for renewed mutual respect and for collaborative efforts that honor both Jamaica's constitutional framework and Akompong's treaty-based autonomy. Thank you.
Chief Richard Curry, Andrew Holness.
Why in a Akompong, so why in the cockpit country that uno decide say uno other man so uno need access to it. So chow Hurricane Melissa blow now, I know this I don't know so uno can't get no access to it, uno run good on the yes, cause they weak now. So the chief I go say yes, we glad for this, I glad for that, so uno go get but uno get a surprise how uno life. And the surprise how uno life uno get uno never did like it. Alright, the man say, we chief say, me not go call him the man because our chief. We chief say, what you know now? Prime Minister, we will accept this, but we not going to accept the part there. And it's a big problem. Then if the chief say, all right, thanks for visiting us, thanks for no gratefulness, give me the material, them, whip on the ground, we do we work yourself. One bag of problem and one bag of nowhere else a Jamaica hurricane and listen to my shop. So, tell me something. Why uno adamant and uno bully and try to get out chief because uno want access to the cockpit country? Uno not gonna get it. Uno not gonna get it because to me dead left uno not gonna go pan in either. Uno not gonna get it. So anything what uno have up and down the sleeve, it not gonna work, you know. It not gonna work. And I don't know say me have it because me did bond there. Me not just get up and say I am a Maroon in the day. Me did bond there. So me just sit down and I watch, you know, and say wanna go on because uno think so Richard Curry not have nobody behind him. Uno think so they little idiot hungry Maroon them wanna go down they go give one parcel and sitting. We're ready to jump out and switch and make nice because they want one more care parish. Uno think say him alone. So let me ask you something. Like how the chief say, him we accept the materials, but them on the ground we do them work. What's the problem? It shouldn't be a problem in a sir Holness and you little oppressor them and you heap a bag of them where you have a try to bully. I don't know, not try to fight you know. A long time, you know. Nowhere at Jamaica, so nobody else in a Jamaica, no other community, no other parish would want the help of the JDF. Why are the upper the cockpit country, in the cockpit country, you not force it on? Why not force it on? You go, the man said no, alright, we will accept this, but that part we can do it ourselves. And that's a big problem. So, why in there so? Why in a pocket country that any least opportunity, all if a disaster, we not try to go there first. We get access to there first. It's not gonna happen. And yesterday, look idiot don't said Maroon them. You know if you come out of a place long time, but just one thing I save all somehow. You know like Judas. You know if you come out of a place long time, just one thing I save when I call no band like myself too. You know if you get run out of a village, you know if you come out. You know if you come out. In people, if we chief say, sir, we appreciate you for come. Some place still not see you yet. But you find way for go a compound. Some place still not see you yet. Some place still not get no help yet. So why me not see? And you offer the help to in the cockpit country, to the Maroons, to us, right? And we chief say, we will do this and that, but a problem. But we not see you offer it to nobody else. Deploy the JDF all about because a lot of people in Jamaica here don't want fix. And listen up, if you feel like say, you don't want but give them the materials, you can't keep that too because people will help you up at that. You understand me? And why in there so? And why in there so we are cause the problem? Anyway, stand firm and strong in the Chief Curry. And you alone because we there too. We there too because they feel like so nobody know when I have no sense to come from in the bush there. But we there too. Remember so me there, yeah? So me I watch and see what I go on. If a 48 or 49 or 40 day or 49 we give them. And so I'm going to chief put out our next statement. We don't like what I go on and we don't like the fact say. We don't like the fact say it's causing a problem that you reject an offer. Just we don't bother one, nothing at all.
You can't eat food and I wait. Oh, food be nice. Oh, food be nice. You can't eat food. You can't eat food and I wait same time. That girl not go on. I mean,
enough is enough now. All of us have right in a Maroon town, and because we didn't vote for Curry, that's why we are the set apart people. We're not getting help like how we're supposed to get help because we didn't vote for him. So we are past out. The hurricane Richard Curry don't buy nothing that signal. And Richard Curry get too much $1 million. And you want to tell me say Richard Curry care about people. Richard Curry want people to live on the Chapalin. Say the government can't send in JDF coming and keep your material. Don't give them no material. Look at me, they live on the Chapalin because the Chapalin. Mr. Prime Minister, we don't need no light, no water, no hospital, no passport to go America, but those and nothing coming here. Yes, those and no electricity. Now, my JPS give me no electricity. Let me see how them go get current. Them say there's something still. Yes, there's a second food. Everybody will work up here. We are left out of the community to work. And government pay them Richard Curry to employ nobody in here. Nobody now get no pay for Richard Curry up here. Everybody will work up and our government pay them. Everybody will work up here. Government pay them. Because it's not Richard Curry. Because Richard Curry don't pay no JDF has been coming here for a long while. Years JDF have come here. They come here called camp out. Camp out in our community. And the children them love it. Yes, you come on my road. So we need help, we need roof from our head. Look, help for the night on. We need help. Time to go. Time to
Up first this evening, Chief of Akampong Richard Curry has responded to the recent standoff between residents over the decision to reject military presence in the Maroon town.
Chief Curry has also rejected claims of bias in how aid is being distributed and stressed that political forces are at play.
Here's Kalisha Williams with our report.
This is one of the videos being circulated on social media, a brawl between Maroons in Akampong, St. Elizabeth. It came after Colonel Richard Curry publicly rejected an offer by the Prime Minister to deploy the JDF to assist with rebuilding efforts in the area.
Richard Curry wants people to live on the falling. Send the government can't send the JDF coming up. Keep your material. Mr. Prime Minister, we don't need no light, no water, no hospital, no passport to go America, but don't send nothing coming here. Yes, don't send no electricity. No make JDF give about no electricity. Let me see how them go get for it.
The people went on to say that the Maroon chief has not been fair in his distribution of aid in the community. On Monday, Mr. Curry stressed that most of the people in the protest are being influenced by politics.
One does not want to see the face of politics, right? What we have been doing has been nothing but transparent in getting the need that is required to the communities that require it, right? What we've been now doing is assiduously planning the recovery efforts for Akampong. The January 6 celebrations is around the corner. There's also a lot of planning and work that has to go in that. People underestimate the level of time and work that it takes to put these things together.
And he's also doubling down on the Maroon Council's decision to reject the JDF's presence in the community.
There are a few who thought the response was saying we do not want any help. And that was not the message. That was not what was communicated. So again, look forward in an affirmative way that the council and the government will be working together to aid in the recovery process of Akampong and adjoining Maroon districts.
Dozens of Maroons are also standing with their chief.
Just few little handful of labor right get up and fight the man. For what? For what reason? Eh? You make a little money in the town, if you fix the town, they want it in them hand.
The picture that they are painting is like some different, like they are bringing politics into this. And it's not so. And most of fool talk the other day. Their belly are full because they get water. I personally give some of them water, food, parties, name it, everything that come.
We definitely against the soldiers them from coming here because no gunman in here.
The residents also stressed that they are not against the JDF, but they have enough workmen in the community who can help with the rebuilding, and many of them are now unemployed.
So if your work is here, we can have something to do. Chief, right now, I have 2 kids that go to school right now at Hampton. And sometimes it's rough for me to get money to send them to school.
But how would you trade, man? No, not now. You know, I drink rum. Flash, you sit down and drink rum, you can lift 2 wood. Pan there, you can nail 2 zinc. Yeah. Ruddy there. If you carry a man from Santa Amaga to come to the book, you left with broke.
Work has already started to repair some of the buildings in the community. Priority is being placed on getting concrete roofs where possible. And going forward, the chief is appealing for unity and open dialogue.
The Prime Minister, you may come out. And I'm not playing politics here. I'm just a man who love Jamaica, love my people, as you would have seen my body at work. No, I saw you engage a guy that you call Chief Richard Curry. I don't know why you give him so much credit, but I will leave that for another time. You had made an offer, which is where you went wrong in the first place, to this area leader, or Dan, over one district in a sentence bed named a compound town. So much power you had given him that you were going to make him an offer and not decide for the people of Jamaica that living in that space. I know them call themselves Maroon. But they are in Jamaica. And as sovereign as they claim to be, they're not independent of Jamaica, sir. I don't think they can survive a day without the goods and services that Jamaica provide. Now, you are sworn to protect the people of Jamaica, sir. And we're calling on you to do just that. No guy should not have those power. And when you give that guy those power, other area leaders, other Dan, going to expect a similar privilege. And I could not understand then why wouldn't they get it? You were elected to run the country. And I don't business if you are Labour, you're PNP. I am saying you're the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And that's what I'm defending. I am now defending the people that needs you. It also said that there might be things that's over there that they're hiding from the rest of Jamaica. I heard on Mr. Vegas Live, a man was saying that they plant certain amount of things over there and they might not want the military to come in and discover those things that they plant. Or whatever. I don't know how true that is. I cannot, confirm that. But whatever there is and whatever it takes, the people of Jamaica should be protected. Hurricane Melissa came, he did this thing, and now the people need you. It's your right and it's your time to stand up, sir, and protect the people of Jamaica. Sure, the area leader, or Dan, or what you want to call him, that you are the Prime Minister of Jamaica and it's your duty, your job, to protect the people of the land of wood and water, Jamaica.
Well, if you've watched this episode to this point, thank you once again, and let's get down to it. In the recent happenings, we're getting to see that the Maroon chief the Akompong Maroon chief, Richard Curry, has come out openly to reject the support that was being offered by Jamaica, whereby we get to see that the Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness was planning to send the Jamaica Defense Forces to help in the recovery and in the rebuilding of the Maroon community, that is after the Hurricane Melissa, which caused huge damage to the community. And in a rather very interesting turnout of events, we're getting to see that their chief, that is Richard Curry, has come out openly to reject this offer from Prime Minister Andrew Holness, straining the relationship that these two individuals have had, that is the Maroon community and the Jamaican government. In his bold words, as you've seen in the video, Akompong Maroon chief Richard Curry is claiming that the community doesn't necessarily need the support from the Jamaican Defense Forces, as they have already gotten international donations, technical support, and volunteers who are willing to come out and help in rebuilding their community after the Hurricane Melissa disaster. This has caused storms in Jamaica, as you understand that the Maroon people usually identify as a separate community who have autonomy that goes back to history. And this is mainly facilitated by the treaty or the pact that the Maroon people who descended from the enslaved slaves, that is the Africans, back in 1738, when the community made a peace treaty with the British Crown. And by doing this, the community assumed that it had achieved some level of autonomy and sovereignty compared to the rest of the Jamaican island. And this has been carried on for decades now, as the Maroon community has usually had its own distinct sovereignty and cultural values that have hugely been separated from the rest of Jamaica. Despite of the Maroons being part of the entire Jamaica as a country, these individuals still claim to have their own sovereignty, and in doing so, they've had issues with several Jamaican governments, and right now we're getting to see that Andrew Holness is again in this tug of war with their chief, that is Richard Curry, who is again coming out loudly to declare the sovereignty of the Maroon people. This misunderstanding has pushed the Jamaican government to a point that we're getting to see Andrew Holness coming out to openly declare that the Maroon people do not have a sovereign state, and it's a duty of the Jamaican government to cater for all Jamaicans in the country, regardless of the treaties that the community had with the former colonizers, that is the British Crown. However, the Maroon community have responded and keep on referring to the 1738 treaty that they made with the Crown, and this has led to more tensions between the Maroon community and the Jamaican government. And this tension overflowed to a point that you're getting to see at some point Andrew Holness withheld certain support to the community, given the fact that this community sometimes does not identify as being part of Jamaica, leading to the rise of tension between the Maroon community and the Jamaican government. And again, if you watch the clip, you'll get to understand that Richard Curry is claiming that having the presence of the Jamaican Defense Forces in the Maroon community will be a distress to most of the community members, that is going back to the dark past that these individuals shared and the unhealed trauma that they experienced from previous governments and the colonizers, and hence they believe that it won't be comfortable enough for the Jamaican Defense Forces to go and help in the rebuilding of their community. Other than that, again, there have been speculations about the political affiliations of the Akompong Maroon chief, that is Richard Curry. As it has been noted in the past, he has been involved with certain political parties, and in this case it is the PNP, which is headed by Mark Golding, and in doing so he has openly declared his support for the current opposition in the country. And it's quite understandable why it is very difficult for him to come to a normal understanding with the current Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness, as these individuals tend to come from different political parties and hence have clashing political views and ideas. And with Richard Curry's involvement in politics, this has again gone to show how active the Maroon community has been in Jamaica, as it shows that despite of the fact that they usually claim to be a sovereign state, they at some point again get to be involved with the national issues or national matters relating to Jamaica, hence giving this contradiction, as when it comes to issues that need government intervention, these individuals usually pull back and claim that they don't necessarily need the support from the Jamaican government, as they view themselves as being a sovereign state. However, we're again getting to see mixed reaction from the Maroons, that is in the Maroon community, after Richard Curie's bold statement, as most of them believe that they need this support from the government, despite of the fact that their leader is claiming that they are receiving international donation. And you're getting, most of them are reading malice in his statement, as this is being viewed as open defiance and a war of egos rather than a real interest in the well-being of the people. And hence, that is how the current conflict, or let's say tension, that is there between the Maroon community and the Jamaican government. However, again, it should be noted that this is not a violent conflict whereby you get to see both parties warring against each other. This is a political conflict whereby we are getting to see that both parties have conflicting interests that is based on their culture, identity, and autonomy, that is between the Maroon people and the Jamaican government. And this issue with the current state of affairs is just a matter of time before we get to understand, or we get to see how this delicate issue is going to be solved by the current Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who is again facing other challenges like handling the results or the claims from the recently ended Jamaican election, whereby he got to clinch the seat, and the ongoing national restoration after Hurricane Melissa hit the country. Well, this marks the end of this episode. Kindly don't forget to share your thoughts and ideas with me in the comment section. Thank you once again, and see you in the next one.